Drink beer, it's good for you. I'm empty-handed and I'm feeling blue, and I'm gonna drink till the day that I die.
Hello and welcome to the video. In this video I shall be showing you the latest upgrade product for the Grainfather Conical Fermenter, the Pressure Transfer Kit. Before I show you what's in the box and how this all works in operation, let's look at why you would want such a thing in the first place. Pressure transfer of beer is certainly nothing new. This method has been used by professional brewers for a very long time. For the home brewer, using a pressure transfer has two main benefits. Firstly, you can perform a clean and fast transfer of your beer from your fermenter without the need of lifting your fermenter to use gravity. This also means that when you are transferring into bottles, you can hold them at any comfortable height and still get good transfer times. Secondly, and many would say more importantly, you can transfer with less chance of oxygen entering your beer. This is especially true if you do this as part of an enclosed transfer. More on this later. This keeps your beer fresher for longer, increasing its lifespan and safeguarding its characteristic flavours for longer. This is of course especially true for hoppy beers. So let's now have a look and see what comes in this rather long box. Firstly, we have a racking pipe which is made from high quality 304 stainless steel. Then we have an accurate digital pressure gauge with a body, a tri-clamp for fitting, and gas hosing attached complete with a needle gauge. We also have a liquid hose here that can actually be used in conjunction with the stainless steel racking pipe. As you would expect, there is also full instructions included here that I must say are rather detailed. Nice to see. This is the open top cap which is included, but you also have one which is closed depending on your method of transfer. On top of that, we also have a bag with some spares. Let's have a closer look at the main unit now. It feels very well made in the hand and is certainly very solid. It's actually powered by batteries which actually go on the back here. I'll just open the trap door now and you can have a closer look. There's space here for a couple of AAA batteries. The gauge itself can also be switched to different pressure types depending on your own personal preference. This is done by simply pressing the function button. Nice and easy. When using this kit, you can transfer via the dual valve tap of the Conical Fermenter or via the Conical Fermenter's top lid using the beer racking pipe. Two caps are actually provided, one for transfer from the bottom tap which is closed, and also an open cap version that allows transfer from the top. To use this kit you will need a CO2 bottle with a regulator, but anyone with a keg will already have these anyway. This is the airline that comes with the kit. Now this may fit the barb on your regulator, but unfortunately for me, my regulator has a screw fitting. What I did was make this extra section you see here that is not red, so that it would actually fit my regulator. It was pretty cheap though, I've got to say, even here in Norway. Before I go any further and demonstrate this kit in action, I feel it's important to talk a little bit about health and safety. You must remember before you start the transfer that all four of the lid clamps on the Conical Fermenter lid are secure and that the dual valve tap is fastened tightly before you start adding pressure. I started up by filling my keg full of sanitizer, and then what I did was I pushed it out with CO2 so that it went through all of the piping that I'm going to use, including the racking cane that you can see here. At this point I also purged the keg several times to make sure I'd removed all oxygen and replaced it with CO2. I then set up everything for a closed transfer into my keg. It's an incredibly simple process and I don't see that anyone would struggle with this. For my first test I used the stainless steel racking cane, but this could also be done via the bottom tap also. This hose that comes from the racking cane I've joined with a hose that goes directly into my keg for a closed transfer. This would also work with a Cornelius keg. I then connected the line directly to my regulator and then directly into the needle valve here. It's important to ensure the needle valve is fully closed by turning it fully clockwise before you start. I then turned on the gas on my gas cylinder, and then I switched on the gauge and made sure that it was showing 0 psi before I continued. I set the gauge to 1 psi and the beer started to flow. I found that the suggested 1 psi of pressure gave a nice steady flow. Later on I also did some testing with just water, but this time using the bottom tap. For this method you actually use the enclosed top cap that I showed you earlier, and of course there's no need for the racking cane. Both of these methods worked very well and certainly gave a speed increase, and of course there was no need to lift anything for gravity. I haven't tried this with bottles yet, but I'm sure it works very well, and it will certainly be very convenient to be able to position the bottle at a more comfortable location when transferring. I am really glad that I got this kit and would certainly recommend it to other Grainfather Conical Fermenter owners for its key advantages. It's certainly very easy to set up and use, and it's also very nice quality. And that wraps this video up. I hope you found this video interesting, useful and enjoyable. So if you did like this video, then please do like it on YouTube. This really helps me out and allows the videos to be seen by a wider audience on YouTube. I have always got a lot of new videos planned for the future, so if you are interested in seeing my new content, then please subscribe for future content. If you have any questions on anything that I have covered in this video or any other video, then please do not hesitate to get in touch with me via YouTube or Facebook. I'm a member of pretty much every Grainfather Facebook group and more. Happy brewing!